I will not.
Okay. You said to some. Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone to the Henry County Zoning Advisory Board meeting, February 9th, 2023. I would like to advise all that this meeting is being broadcast live on Spectrum Channel 180 and on the Henry County website. For anyone wishing to speak tonight, a total of 10 minutes will be allowed for anyone wishing to speak in favor of a case and 10 minutes for anyone wishing to speak in opposition. For example, if 10 people wish to speak, they must share the 10-minute slot. For tonight, associated cases that are being presented, a total of 20 minutes will be allowed for anyone in favor of a case and 20 minutes for anyone in opposition. We will now hear the invocation and pledge. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for all of your blessings. And we thank you for a new year. We ask that you be with us and continue to guide us throughout this year. Thank you. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes, please?
I move that we approve the minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
If we state what months those were
For, we would be good. Go back.
and
Just some,
That was for the last.
can you update me on the months of the minutes that we're approving?
For the
November.
month of November 2022.
Month of November. Can I get a motion? We'll recap that. A motion.
I amend my motion that we approve the minutes for November 2022.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimous. Can I get a motion to accept the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
And it said we have a motion and a second to accept the agenda. All in favor? Motion carries. Staff, do we have any comments?
Yes, sir. Good evening. I guess Happy New Year, since this is our first meeting of the year. We have a couple postponements, if you would just bear with me for a second. The following items were advertised and posted for the February 9th, 2023 Zoning Advisory Board meeting, but have been postponed by the applicant. RZ 2228, that's Ronald Nash of McDonough, Georgia. ULDC AM 2212, that's again Ronald Nash of McDonough. CU 2208, DRB Group of Fayetteville, Georgia. COMP, COMP AM 2213, DRB Group of Fayetteville. RZ 2222, DRB Group of Fayetteville. And lastly, LGS Holdings Group of Tucker, Georgia. All these cases have been postponed by the applicant. Additionally, we do need to vote for a new chair, vice chair, and secretary. Okay. And lastly, I would just like to say that Mr. Kamal Al-Salam is now the interim assistant director for planning and zoning.
Okay. Okay, and prior to voting, I would like to also welcome Mr. Kevin Richardson to the board.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, can I get a nomination for chair?
I'll nominate Delander Nelson.
Okay, we have a nomination. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a nomination, a second. All right. All in favor? Thank you. So moved. Can I get a nomination for vice chair?
I'll nominate Don Randolph.
Okay.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. All right. All in favor? Motion carries. All right. Can I get a nomination for secretary?
I'll nominate Toussaint Kirk.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor? Motion carries. Okay, so as chair, we have Delander Nelson, and vice chair, Ms. Dawn Randolph, and as secretary, Mr. Toussaint. All right. If that concludes staff recommendations, and we would like to move forward with the meeting. Call the first case.
COMP AM 2212, KUNJ Atlanta LLC of McDonough, Georgia, requests an amendment to the comprehensive plan for property located at 2348 Jonesboro Road in Land Lot 109 of the 6th District. The property consists of 1.19 plus or minus acres, and the request is to amend the future land use map designation from mixed use to commercial, and the associated case, RZ 2220, requesting a rezoning from C1, neighborhood commercial, to C2, general commercial, and the request being for a car wash. District 5, presented by Kamal Al-Salam, interim assistant director.
Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, board members, and citizens of Henry County. The two requests in front of you is for property located at 2348 Jonesboro Road. The property is currently zoned C1 neighborhood commercial and has a future land use designation of mixed use. The parcel is 1.19 plus or minus acres, and the applicant is requesting to amend the future land use map from mixed use to commercial and to rezone the property from C1 to C2. On this map, the subject property is highlighted in green and is on the corner of Jonesboro Road and Chambers Road. The property is the limit of the mixed-use future land use designation on the western side of the Jonesboro Road corridor. On the following map, the zoning map, the subject property is highlighted bright red for C1. This slide shows the site plan displaying the proposed car wash, which would share an entrance with the existing Shell gas station. This particular property has a lengthy history, and I'll read through it. A review of zoning files indicates that the subject property was rezoned as a part of a larger tract from RA to O&I on October 21st, 2003 by the Board of Commissioners with 9 conditions and 1 stipulation. Further review of the zoning files indicates that the subject property was granted a comp plan amendment from office to commercial and was rezoned from O&I to C1 with 6 conditions by the Board of Commissioners on April 15th, 2014. During the RZ 1402 rezoning, the applicant originally requested to rezone the property to C2, but was instead granted C1 by the Board of Commissioners. Furthermore, the future land use map designation of the subject property to commercial was granted on April 15th, 2014, has since been amended that to the mixed-use future land use map designation with the adoption of the Henry County/Cities Joint Comprehensive Plan 2040 update, which was adopted on October 16, 2018 by the Board of Commissioners. The applicant is requesting to rezone 1.19 plus or minus acres from C1 neighborhood commercial to C2 general commercial for a car wash facility. The C2 zoning allows for durable consumer goods, sales, and services, which includes car washes. The applicant has also requested a comprehensive plan amendment request to amend the future land use map designation from mixed use to commercial, which would then support the rezoning request to C2. The subject property is located within the boundaries of the Highway Corridor Overlay District, and the development will be required to comply with the development standards. Staff recommends denial of the request to change the future land use map designation of the subject property from mixed use to commercial, and staff also recommends denial of rezoning the subject property from C1 neighborhood commercial to C2 general commercial. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Okay. Does the board have questions for staff? And staff, if I recall, we're hearing both of these together?
Yes, sir. So,
Okay, thank you. So we'll allot 20 minutes?
20 minutes. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. Okay. If there's no questions for staff, we'd like the applicant to come forward, please. Please state your name and address for the record. You can come forward, sir.
My name is Hasmukh Patel. I'm a managing member of Kunj Atlanta LLC, which owns the property there.
Okay, and your
And
address, sir?
And the address of the property is 2348 Jonesboro Road, McDonough.
Okay, and your address?
My address is, I live at 1544 Chambers Road, McDonough.
Okay, thank you.
How much time do I have?
You have a total of 20 minutes for the two cases, sir. We're combining the two cases,
Oh,
and you have
okay.
20 minutes.
We have a sign there that the car wash is coming. So many people started asking after a while that when it is coming and what's going to happen. So it took a long time. We kept answering to the people. So it spurred idea in my mind that how do I respond to everybody? How do I get everybody's feedback into it? So that's where we started signing a petition. I started talking to many people, and I started getting the petitions from them. So I would like to submit first the petitions that I have. I have from at least 235 people. And I'll submit the original copy here. First, I want to thank Mr. Aslam for working with us. You have been very cooperative and appreciate that you also mentioned that you are opposing the approval. Our opinion differs for many reasons. As a builder, investor, and businessman, we want to build or develop something which addresses community needs. The idea comes from community on what they would like to see and what will help them. If we do not meet their needs, regardless of the county approval, we may have to close the business one day and we will fail. Convenience store or neighborhood center concepts are continuously being redefined by impact of Amazon and other continuously changing technology. Originally, gas station predominantly only sold gasoline. Now it is one-stop shop for gasoline, something to buy, pick up bread, milk, or cash from ATM. The industry is constantly being changed. Now, Quick Trip and similar companies are putting car washes with their selected store. That means car washes are becoming part of gas station and C-store. Before, people went to car wash when their car needed cleanup. Now, the car washes offer membership for a single payment, unlimited washes. For that reason, people visit car washes more often than before. That brings car washes into category, inverted comma, frequent need of nearby residents of nearby residential neighborhood, which is county's code SEC 3-7-1.152, which is a C1 job. So soon car wash will be moved from C2 to C1 land use chart. Along with us, 235 county residents have signed the petition, but they are the ones who will use their services, and they know what they want. They must see it every day, and they have to put up with that. They think that a car wash is the perfect fit at this location. They can achieve multiple things in one place rather than going place to place. Over the last few weeks, I have met many people who have signed the petition, including a few who decided not to sign. They have asked many questions. I have learned from them about what they like, what they want, and whether a car wash is the right choice or not at this location. I am aware that county is trying to bring restriction or moratorium in the county for car washes simply because there are too many. I believe supply and demand are determined by people, consumers. I have masters in marketing. I was a licensed general contractor in California. I have always learned that competition is one thing that makes America greatest. I do not understand why limit the number of car washes. What harm do they do? If they limit warehouses, I understand that they will put too much load on our road system and will cause serious traffic jam. If they limit smoke or tobacco shops, I understand that they may cause a nuisance. I understand the responsibility as a county resident and responsibility of doing business in the county. Let me tell you that our combined lots are less than 2.7 acres, and currently we have a construction of only about 7,000 square feet, and we pay over $37,000 in property taxes every year. If we are not allowed to put something that we believe can do well and something the property is suitable for, then it would be extreme hardship, economic hardship to pay the property taxes we keep paying. It took about 7 years to complete the gas station development because the county would not approve the septic tank and the adjacent owner would not allow us access to get to it. It took a long time and it cost a fortune, but we did it. Even after completing it, it took about a year and a half to get our third tenant. We had several tenants interested in a smoke and tobacco shop to take it right away. And they were willing to pay good rent as well. However, we did not give them, we did not give it to them because we believed that it was not a right choice for a community. We do not want nuisance. I moved to Atlanta in 2002 to work for a Homeland Security. I have been living right around the corner for over 20 years. I know my community. I know what fits into it. I know what they want. 235 county residents told me loud and clear that the car wash is the perfect service right next to the gas station. In new county proposed regulation, they do not want to see new car washes within 3 miles. In Portland, Washington, I have seen Starbucks left and right, not 1 or 2, but 14 just on one street within few miles. They know their consumers and what is more important to them. I know that that may not fit here and may not be needed. Some franchises have their outlet right across each other. The new county proposed regulation means franchising car washes and giving the territorial right. In the instant case, our proposed car wash is about 2.5 miles away from an existing one, but it differs traffic pattern. The resident on west of I-75, especially on the borderline of the county, Henry County borders, must cross one of the busiest corridors to get to it. On a good day, the traffic on Jonesboro Road is back up to the Chambers Road, Additionally, at least 1,000 new apartments and houses are being built in 3-mile radius. I cannot imagine impact of traffic in this neighborhood now and future. The proposed car wash will help ease the traffic of everyone going across the freeway. There is no car wash within 4 miles on west side of I-75. The county residents west of the proposed car wash and near the county borderline have no option but travel far away or go to the Clayton County on 1941. One elderly man signed a petition stating that he does not like to go to Clayton County and he wants to support businesses within the county. I know the county's intentions are good in whatever they are doing. The difference between businessmen, a developer making mistake versus government or government employees that even if they make a bad call, they still get their paychecks. On the other hand, the developer businessman may lose their livelihood. I am 67-year-old. Sure, I do not want to make a mistake and lose my livelihood at this age. It is not that today I'm standing in front of you to sell my story. We would have to prove our proposed concept to banks and the partners, and for that reason, even the county approves, we may not progress anywhere until the bank and other partners are convinced that what we are doing is good for the community. Without addressing community need, we may go bankrupt. We intend to participate in U.S. Homeland Security's EB-5 program, in which we would have to prove that for each investor or partner, the proposed car wash would create 10 new full-time jobs, and the business plan and concept we come up with have to be comprehensive, complete, and credible, mandated by the court. As I said, I talked to many people on this subject to know what they want and what they think about new car wash. Many supported, and some did not like idea of having a new car wash. Some even came back the next day and canceled the signed petition. However, about 98% of the residents supported the petition. Many petitioners questioned why the county would restrict a new car wash. There are almost 50 to 60 restaurants within a walking distance of our exit. And every year, new restaurants are being built. Why has the county never thought of restricting them? There are too many. Maybe they are cash cow to the county. They are bringing good revenue. The car wash may not be a cash cow, but they will create jobs, bring revenue, and most importantly, bring needed service to the residents. And they help the environment too. Most car washes use recycled water. The county can save on water. Our concept is based more on public opinion and their needs. Several brokers solicited for a car wash as they believe this site is most suitable for car wash. Caliber Car Wash, who initiated this application, are going public. They must have a vision. We surveyed more than 235 residents. We even tried to reach our district commissioner with no success. 2 years ago, when we were building a gas station, I tried to reach our commissioner, but there was no response whatsoever. I do not think they wanted to avoid us. I never met either one, but I have heard a lot good things about them. Undoubtedly, they are very well respected and reputable in the community. I believe there is a problem with the county's online request form, which is probably not forwarding messages. Finally, I would say that even if the car wash is not approved, I request approval of C2 in a master zoning, because in every option we have other than car wash, C2 will be required. If we are not approved, we'll go back to the drawing board again, rethink, reanalyze our concept, and we may change our concept altogether. If we think the car wash is the most suitable concept for this location, then we'll come back with a stronger public opinion and possibly with the expert testimonies and any other options available. Thank you for listening to me and considering the 235 county residents' petition that are waiting to welcome car wash nearby at their choice of a location. I'm sure that you will make the right decision in light of the views I presented and in the wish of the 235 county residents.
Thank you.
If you have any question, I'll be glad to answer.
Does the board have questions for the applicant? Okay. I have one question. One is that you indicated that you would also like for it to be rezoned to C2. If a
Yes,
car
sir.
wash is not placed there, what would your other option be?
Possibly restaurant?
Restaurant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any additional questions for the applicant? Okay. If, Mr. Richard?
Just looking at your site plans, it seems that the entrance and egress from Jonesboro Road is somewhat, I guess, somewhat awkward. I don't see how it would circulate into your facility from the adjoining parcel or from Jonesboro Road. Maybe you could explain that to us.
Understand, sir. No matter what we do on that particular parcel, that would be the same scenario that you are raising. That people who would have to maneuver and get to there because it is not possible to get a new driveway for them. So when they are turning into the lot, of course, they will be on a very slow speed, and just like into any other parking lot, they would have to turn into their lane.
Any additional questions, Mr. Richard? Okay, if there's no further questions, I'd like the applicant to be seated, please.
All right. Thank you.
We have 7 minutes, 3 seconds for anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this case. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? Okay, I don't see anyone coming forward. We'd also like to allot 20 minutes for anyone wishing to speak in opposition. And that's a total of 20 minutes for everyone that wished to speak. And we'll reset the clock after these 10 minutes expire.
Yes, sir. So Chair Wilson, there was one email in opposition from Miss Lynn Clark. So we just need to add that to the record.
Okay, if you want to read it, we will, and that was from Ms. Lynn Clark. Can you state her address?
She did not list it, but she said it's from a very concerned citizen.
Okay, we'll go ahead and hear that. Let's hear it.
Good morning, Commissioner Clemens and Mr. Lanham. As a Henry County resident, I am voicing my serious concern for possibility of yet another car wash being built on Jonesboro Road, seemingly less than a mile or so from a relatively new car wash on Jonesboro Road. Why is another car wash needed and in such close proximity to an existing one? With all the new developments in the area, when will the county consider more important improvements like road widening to accommodate the number of residents, especially due to the recent growth in the county? What about bringing more upscale restaurants in near the area instead of businesses that could potentially depreciate current home values? A Publix is currently being built on Jonesboro Road. 2 apartment complexes are under construction on Jonesboro Road, a luxury one closer to Jonesboro Road 75 exit. 3 new single-family homes are also under construction near Jonesboro, Chambers, and Mill Roads. Yet there is no visible signs of widening the roads to accommodate the obvious traffic increase, except for turn lanes into those complexes' housing developments. Is that supposed to be the county's idea of road widening? Please, 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 in all caps, enough is enough with the unnecessary establishments in the county. Can we save some of our trees, green spaces, and nature? Please. Please use the funds to widen our roads and help residents navigate our county more efficiently. Thank you for your consideration. A very concerned resident, Lynn Clark.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let me make a statement. We have a total of 20 minutes for everyone that wishes to speak. When we decide to have an outburst, it's not going to help us at all. So we need to hold all applause to the end or whatever you want to do, but it's not going to help us. Okay? and we will adhere to the 20 minutes. Okay,
Can I put up the picture up here?
you can.
All right. So kind of like what the letter was saying, my name is Brooke Winfrey. I'm District 2 citizen. We live in the Villages at Walnut Creek subdivision up there, right behind.
Please state your name and address.
Okay, Brooke Winfrey, 341 Laura Lane, McDonough, Georgia.
Okay.
So we're up there in the Villages at Walnut Creek subdivision. I have some of the homeowners tonight that came in opposition to the car wash that is being proposed. You can see the car wash is really adjacent. We have 83 homes right back there. And so we have several citizens that raise concerns to the HOA board that I'm on. And we really don't want to hear the car wash. We don't want to see the litter that comes with the car wash. I think there's a time and a place for a car wash, and this is not the place to put a car wash. If we're in agreement, we would like to have it way down Jonesboro Road where there's already a car wash. Let's keep it at that, not with a bunch of nice restaurants and Publix and that type of thing. It's not the curb appeal that we want. Obviously, we respect the applicant, but as citizens, we never got a petition. I mean, I don't know what petition he's talking about. I'm sure it is valid. It has signatures on it. But being on the HOA board just in the immediate subdivision, I can tell you we never saw a petition, never got asked. So I'm going to leave yield time to the rest of the citizens.
Okay. Please state your name and address for the record when you're coming forward.
Good morning. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joel Wilcox. I live at 156 Loop Cove in the Holly Ridge subdivision. Our subdivision is literally adjacent to the Publix and the other construction that's going on. So adjacent that we can actually see the construction going on from our windows. We haven't seen a petition, of course, as no one else has, and there's no disrespect to Mr. Patel and the business that he operates. But just speaking verbally to everyone I've spoken to my HOA, to our other citizens, to everyone in the other surrounding subdivisions, we've all said enough is enough. We have enough coming that we need to build infrastructure before we begin to put other things in. We're busting at the seams in trying to drive. Even Mr. Patel himself addressed traffic. There's no way that building new businesses is going to address the traffic issue. We have at my last count 6 car washes within a 3-mile radius of our home, and 3 of those are brand new. We don't need any new construction. What we need is new infrastructure. What we need is street widening. What we need is to address the concerns of having a new Publix. Not just those 2 compartment complexes, but we have others that's built right along Jodico Road, which is not far from where we are now. That's going to impact traffic, let alone the traffic that's on 218. I think it's US 20 that's going to be impacting traffic. We have a lot of new construction going on, which is great for the expansion of the county, but we don't need some other businesses like this, especially when we have 6 others that exist. I would prefer a newer restaurant that serves something different than a car wash that will depreciate the surrounding area, because we've seen how older car washes in this county impact the neighborhood around it with drugs, with crime, with other things, because they get abandoned or they turn into mission centers or they turn into other things. It is not appropriate to the look of the county. It does not address any of our concern, and I don't even know if it fits with our 10-year plan that we all have, that I've read a little bit of, but I'm sure you all have looked at, that fits to that scheme. Thank you. I'm going to leave time for everyone else.
Lorenzo Lewis, 116 Luke Cove. Like the young lady said, the HOA president, I am the president of Holly Ridge, and this is my vice president. This car wash, if you will, go across 75, there's one right there. Down 218, there's one right there. 216, like the gentleman said, we got car washes all over the place. What do we need with another car wash? Is to serve A subdivision? No. We don't really need that. We didn't think this through. We really didn't think this one here through. So I'm definitely opposed to this car wash. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rasan McAfee, 1112 Berrywood Court, Creekside Estates, off of Chambers. You're hearing a reoccurring theme here. The congestion is a big issue. New construction off Chambers and the new construction off of Jonesboro Road. We're not seeing any work in relation to relieving the congestion. This is just building up, and mind you, the new construction isn't even complete yet. It appears that we're working to build up businesses that will increase traffic, but we're not considering this. I heard the argument that there is no traffic within 4 miles on the west side of the highway. So I asked, and like everyone, to think about what routes will these folks take within this radius to get to this car wash. There are not a lot of options, so they all will be squeezing down the same road. So that's all I have.
Hello, my name is Kelsey Ali, and I'm at 152 Luke Cove. I am also a resident of the Holly Ridge subdivision. I'm opposed to the car wash as well. As my residents has already said, the infrastructure with the roads improvement, but my main concern is the safety. With that road, there are people walking up and down the road. There has been accidents on the road where people are struck. Even further than that, at another car wash where I was washing my car, being a normal citizen, these places are a place for predators to attack people. I was going to a restroom where someone did follow me. So this is a concern of safety for our communities. So my addressment is for the safety of the community. If we can address all of the safety, the infrastructures, we want to improve our communities. Let's make it a safer place to live, and the car wash doesn't bring a safety net for our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Betty Washington, 161 Berrywood Court in Creekside Estates, board member on the HOA. Our community is 82 homes. We as well did not receive any petition and were not consulted. We're within a mile, less than a mile of where this proposal is, and our residents also do not want it for all the reasons that were stated. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? We have 11 minutes and 23 seconds.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Rogers, and I reside at 108 Luke Cove at Holly Ridge. Just a few things. I welcome car washes in different communities, but I moved here from big cities, New York, Chicago, different places like that. I know that's not here. However, I see that there are spots being lit up. That is an awesome thing that we're doing, lighting up the roads, right? But living at Holly Ridge, I purchased the property there. I can't get out. I'm claustrophobic. I can't get out because the traffic is not allowing us to get out of our complex. So I am definitely opposed to the car wash that's being thought about. However, there's a food desert, so I welcome the Publix. If you look at 108 Luke Cove, I can touch the Publix out my back door of they've torn down all the trees back there, which is nice, saved me a little money. But at the end of the day, we're gonna need a wall, maybe 8 feet. Who's gonna pay for that? What do we get? I know this eminent domain thing is something to consider. However, we need to consider the community, the children, the school system there, and all the buses, the school buses. We have trucks coming down. If Publix comes, that means their product comes. That means the product comes in the big trucks. And so we need to consider everyone in this matter. I thank you, and I yield my time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? We have 9 minutes, 49 seconds. Anyone else wishing to speak in opposition? I don't see anyone coming forward. Does the board have additional questions for the applicant? Does the board have questions for staff? Okay, if not, we call the cases, please.
Staff does have a few comments.
Okay.
So we've heard the concerns from the citizens about Jonesboro Road every time we have a development come on Jonesboro Road. So I just wanted to make a couple of things known and the spirit of us uniting as a community. So SPLOST and DOT, they've been working very hard to widen all of these roads, especially Jonesboro. And they're planning on starting that road widening from 2 lanes to 4 lanes all the way down to Mount Carmel from 75 in late 24 and early 2025. And that seems like a while away, but it takes time to acquire right-of-way. It takes time to get acquisitions. So it's a few years back, but the roads are being widened, and Flippin is also going to be connected to Mount Carmel. Also, during those road widenings, we do have sidewalks that are coming in as a part of the Highway Corridor Overlay District, and the county are putting those sidewalks in. So I would encourage all the citizens, if you have questions about road widening, about sidewalks, about safety, reach out to us county employees, because many of us live here as well, and we have the same concerns. And these are things we're working on every day. So I just wanted to say that piece.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. All right, so call the cases we have, and we are combining the 2 cases, correct?
So you will need to make one motion for each.
And a rezoning.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so our sound system doesn't seem to be working, so I'll read the case.
Okay. No problem.
COMP AM 2212, Kunj Atlanta LLC of McDonough, Georgia, requesting an amendment to the comprehensive plan for property located at 2348 Jonesboro Road and land lot 109 of the 6th District. The property consists of 1.19 plus or minus acres, and the request is to amend the future land use map designation from mixed use to commercial, District 5, presented by Kamal Al-Salam, Interim Assistant Director. And I think we should stop here and make a motion, and then I'll move to the next one.
Okay. We have a motion for Comp Plan 22.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to deny the request and move from mixed use to commercial based on recommendation from staff.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? I have a second by Mr. Vim. All in favor? Excuse me. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion carries. Unanimous. Call the next case, please.
RZ 2220, Kunj Atlanta, LLC of McDonough, Georgia, requests a rezoning from C1 Neighborhood Commercial to C2 General Commercial for property located at 2348 Jonesboro Road and land lot 109 of the 6th District. The property consists of 1.19 plus or minus acres, and the request is for a car wash. District 5, presented by Kamal Al-Salam, Interim Assistant Director.
You've heard the case. Do we have a motion?
Chair, I have a motion. I'd like to make a motion to deny the request for rezoning from neighborhood commercial C1 to general commercial C2 based on recommendation from staff.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? I have a second by Mr. Vim. All in favor? Motion carries. Unanimous. All right, call the next case, please.
RZ 2223, Xavier McKnight of McDonough, Georgia, requests a rezoning from RA Residential Agricultural to R2 Single Family Residence for property located on the west side of Mosley Road, north of Bennington Drive, and land lot 68 of the 11th District. The property consists of 2.705 plus or minus acres, and the request is for 3 single-family residences. District 4, presented by Faith Palmer, Planner 1.
Good evening, Chair, Board, and citizens of Henry County. The rezoning request before you is for property located on Mosley Road. The property is currently zoned RA, Residential Agricultural. The applicant is requesting R2 single family to develop 3 single-family residences. Here is a current zoning map of the area with the subject property outlined in green. This is an area view of the area with the subject property also highlighted in green. The Mosley Road property has a future land use designation of low-density residential, which supports the R2 zone district. The applicant is requesting to rezone 2.705 plus or minus acres from RA to R2 for the purpose of creating 3 residential lots by way of lot division. This proposed site plan was provided by the applicant dated October 10th, 2022. If approved, the applicant is proposing to divide the parcel into 3 single-family lots. Staff recommends approval of the applicant's request with the following 10 conditions detailed on the screen and in your exhibit books. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Does the board have questions for staff? Okay, if not, we'd like the applicant to come forward, please. Please state your name and address for the record.
Xavier McKnight, 2183 Apollo Place, Lithonia, Georgia 30058.
Do you have anything to add to staff recommendation?
No, I appreciate the recommendation. It's been a long process. I did want to add a little bit of context and history. I moved to Bella's Landing in 2015, so I've been a resident there with my wife until just this past June when we went through a divorce, but I do have a child that still lives in Bella's Landing. Excuse me, the divorce is going on a little bit. I'm also a neighbor to this property. I own the property across the street directly, which is 6.9 acres. So I've got consideration because that's going to be my primary resident. So I just wanted you guys to know, kind of get a full scale scope of what we're looking at here. So if we had a different map, could we go back to the one screen? Directly across the street, the large triangle, that's where my primary home will be. So again, it's a very interest to me to put the right thing and do the right thing. So I look forward to answering any questions as far as what the future use looks like. That's from crowd or you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Does the board have questions for the applicant? Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know, are the houses, you're going to build these houses, are these spec houses, or are they built for people, or you already have the buyers already, or you don't?
No, I don't have anybody laid out. It's just more of a division right now. So someone can buy them for me, or if I have the time to build one at a time, I could build one, do it like that approach. But right now, I don't have any immediate use. Only thing I want to do is get it for single use, so something can be built on it at some point in time.
So you're not building it yourself? You're not
no,
a
ma'am.
builder? Okay.
No, ma'am. Yep.
Okay. Any additional questions for the applicant? Okay, if not, you may be seated, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay, at this time, we would like to allot the remaining 9 minutes and 8 seconds for anyone wishing to speak in favor of this case. Anyone wishing to speak in favor? I don't see anyone coming forward. We'd also like to allot 10 minutes for anyone wishing to speak in opposition.
My name is Tim Barnhart. I live at 125 Bennington Drive in the Bennington Place subdivision, which is right off there to the right of that property that you're looking at right now. We have a lot of our friends here from Bella Landing, as well as many of those that are still living in Bennington Place and along Mosley Road. If you go and you see that piece of property, we're not trying to pick on Mr. McKnight and his development of this property, but if you get a chance to walk the ground, you'll see that that is a very serious curve that comes into that property looking right at where those homes were going to be built. The one thing that's nice about the development of Bella Landing, as well as our Bennington Place subdivision, is that all the properties are off the road. Nobody is looking directly at headlights or looking at the road, and nobody's pulling directly out onto that road, which has already been picking up a tremendous amount of traffic since we had the new schools built. As soon as the last development phase of Bella Landing went in, a lot of new neighbors came in. They're using that road, and with kind of a shortcut over to the new Publix that's over off of 155. This road has always been a bit of a trouble because of the amount of traffic that's beginning to pick up. It's a lot of shortcuts. Echoes something that we also heard from the previous presentation about the amount of green space. We have a lot of green space, but it's beginning to disappear. And our friends and neighbors here in Bella, that's one of the things they were concerned about, is that when they built their subdivisions, a lot of that great green space that used to be there in that land went away, except for this small section along through here. So that's one of our concerns we have with that, as well as the roads are definitely, and there's no real space there to expand that road, because if you get a chance again to take a look at the actual land itself. The property across the street there where Mr. McKnight was talking about building a home, that would be an ideal place for a single house to be built. This area over here, even if you built a single house, we would be very concerned. There's a lot of wildlife. In fact, right prior, 2 weeks ago, before we had this, the meeting was postponed because of the weather, there was a deer hit right at that sign. And we're concerned about if you have families, they're living right there on that road, and we encourage a lot of families to move in our neighborhoods. They are right on a very busy road. So we're concerned about children. We're concerned about people pulling out onto that road, because it's no warning when you come around that curve that you're going to be seeing somebody backing out of a driveway. So there's a lot of concerns that we have on that. We also think if you look at the homes that you have that are in the older subdivisions, as well as the ones that have been developed in Bella Landing, it all kind of goes together. We really have developed quite a nice urban, friendly environment, and these homes just don't seem to fit into the postage look of what we're looking at in our surrounding area. So I know some other people like to speak, but I just want to add that in there. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Michelle Mapp. My address is 1480 Harley Quinn Way. My husband and I, Tony Mapp, we bought in Bella Landing a couple of years ago. And he and I went back and forth about what property to pick. And what we fell in love with, the trees in back of the home. We can sit out on our patio and you can look at the snow if it's snowing. You can see the deer coming out. They would stick their little heads out around 6 or 7 in the evening. And I was really heartbroken when I found out that where that green box is, one of those homes is our home. We have 10 feet within, past our landscaping. We were told by D.R. Horton, we have 10 feet. Our neighbor next door to us, they've already claimed their 10 feet. I don't see how a house can go behind our home unless their backyard is going to be in our backyard. And that's not why we bought in Bella Landing. It's a beautiful community. We moved here from Ohio, and we love our home. I don't know who's going to be living behind us. Like I said, I love to see the rabbits, the deer, the wildlife, and I'm very disappointed, very. And this has been an ongoing thought waiting for this meeting to happen so we can express, how we feel. And I get what the young man is trying to do, and I'm very proud of him, but this is going to be right in our backyard, right in our backyard. And I don't even know if he's aware that we have an extra 10 feet beyond the property that you see when they built our property, the landscaping. It's an additional 10 feet. I should have brought my neighbor's picture so you can actually see it. And that's all that I have to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Marquita Akins. My address is 1488 Harlequin Way. That is in our backyard, though right in front of that green is houses. So for us, that's we have trees back there, which is what we expected. We didn't expect somebody to tear down the trees and put houses in our backyard. So it's just and then like Mr. Tim said, the traffic on that road, it's like a dark road, it's a curve. They're not gonna have any yard space, they're not gonna have any driveway space, it's just throwing some houses there with nothing else there. If you're gonna put 3 houses in that area, they're gonna be right next to each other with nothing else. And again, like Ms. Mickey said, that is our backyard. Where do we go from there? That takes away from anything there. It's right in backyard. That is houses right in front of that green line, people's property.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Boudreau. I live at 160 Waypoint Drive in Bella Landing. I am the current HOA president for Bella Landing. I also want to come in and speak against this rezoning. I have some of the same concerns as you drive the area. If you go just a little further, still right here with Bella Landing, we have a new roundabout that's there. There's also one at where we go into the Woodland School District. Because of traffic, roads trying to slow people down, there is a curve. It is a deep curve, and it is dark. There's a lot of wildlife. So that would definitely pose a safety risk based on the setbacks and the rezoning part of it. I also read through the staff recommendations. The type of home that's being proposed by the builder and what the staff is recommending would not be consistent fully with what we have with Bella Landing as the newest development. And we represent 402 homes for Henry County. So I am in opposition of it, and I also would like to get on the record a couple of things under the recommendations under the staff approval. They only recommended a 1,800 square foot heated space, which, like I say, not be consistent with Bella and a couple of the other adjoining neighborhoods. We would want to amend that if you were to approve to 2,500 square feet, because that would keep it consistent. We're in agreement with number 7, which is 4-size brick, because that would be exactly with Bella Landing. We also would like to have a requirement for a sewer connection and not a septic tank. And then as they spoke to the backyards, because if you look through where the sign is, you can see the back of their homes, that the setback be 40 feet and not 30 feet. Like I said, we still would not have it, but if it was to be approved, we want those conditions on the record. And I thank you, and I'll yield the time in case we need extra time to discuss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Charles Lane. I live at 65 Bennington Court in the Bennington Place subdivision, which is right across the street from this. Mr. Barnhart makes some good points about the curvature of the road there and how dangerous it is. When the Bella Place subdivision came, it did increase the traffic exponentially. Another thing, when that subdivision was built, the commissioners required a 50-foot buffer between that subdivision and Bennington Road, or excuse me, Mosley Road. But most of the houses have taken out their buffers. This is the only place that there's still greenery left to kind of hide the Bella Place subdivision. When you open that up, it's going to open up the whole area in that way and completely take away from the aesthetics of the area. Plus the Mosley Road is getting in pretty bad condition right now just with the amount of traffic that's on it. So you add more people there, will create more problems. So I'm asking you to please deny this rezoning and not let this happen. Thank you.
Very good. Okay. Have 39 seconds, sir.
39 seconds. I'm Mike Markham. I live at 980 Mosley Road, almost across from this property. I just came up here to mention, because I live right on that road, and you can see where that property ends. There's a pretty bad curve there, and there are a lot of deer there. Because that property where Bella Landing is was, 300 or 400 acres, so there's a lot of wildlife that's tried to just, intermingle in the woods that are left. But since we've lived there, we live, facing Mosley Road, going into the Bennington subdivision. We've seen multiple wrecks there because of that. And so, going back to what Tim said, if those houses are built.
Sir, I'm going to have to cut you off now. I'm sorry, but our time has expired.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And I think we get your point pretty clearly. Yeah.
There's already been 3 deaths on that road right there at that. 3 teenagers.
Sir, please. All right. Does the board have additional questions for the applicant? Yeah, Mr. Richard.
Yes, I have some questions that maybe the staff can answer for us. First of all, the 3 lots that are shown on this plat that's in our report, does it meet the requirements of the R2 district with no variances?
Yes.
All right. What about has there been any approval from the Environmental Health Department yet? I see that there's a soil map in our reports, but I was just wondering if the environmental health has made any kind of formal approval.
Mr. Richard, so if these lots are within 2,000 feet of a sewer line, they would need to tap into the sewer line.
And then what is the size of the homes that's being planned here, sir?
Again, I don't have any homes right offhand laid out to build. We just tried to meet the criteria for R2 because we talked to the engineering for the county. We aren't able to connect to the nearest sewer connection, so that's why I had to go R2. If I could go R3, I actually would have proposed more lots. So someone mentioned earlier about how close the houses would be. These are 0.85 or 0.89 just behind me in Bella's Land, and they're just under half acre. Some might be 0.4 or 0.45. So again, the space between the houses is far more significant than just behind Bella's Landing. And back to the point about the sewer connections, again, we got cleared through engineering that I had to go R2. I could not go anything because they could not connect the sewer.
I'm afraid I don't understand. I asked what the house size was going to be.
And I said that originally that I didn't know because I didn't have anything laid out. That was the first thing I said. Oh, so heated floor space.
Okay.
Any additional questions, Mr. Richard?
That's all for now.
I had something in mind. Okay, I think this is for staff. What requires a decel lane in that area? Or
need a traffic